Hello and welcome to Tarot Arts. Anjali, wishing you all a very happy new year. And I'm so excited to start this reading on the very first full moon that we have in this year, which is the full moon in Cancer from 6th to 7th January, based on wherever you're located at. And a major blessing that's coming with this full moon is that a personal issue reaches resolution, which means that any major conflict, problem, issue, or challenge that has been persisting in your life, it is eventually finding an answer. You are able to process that, deal with that, and maybe even close a chapter and move on from that. And especially being a full moon in Cancer sign, this is about letting go, it's about release, it's about identifying what are the energies, connections, or situations in your life which might not be the best for you to carry forward into this new year. So there's going to be some amount of a release that's happening. And one caution sign that comes with the full moon in Cancer is that it is a sign of emotional sensitivity, where a period where our emotions are really heightened. So, one caution that comes from the universe, from spirit, is to make sure that you are allowing yourself to feel your feelings, but you're taking a moment before you fully release these emotions in a manner that might hurt someone else. So, there has to be a balance of feeling your emotions but not being too impulsive with releasing or projecting these emotions onto someone else. And it's also going to be a really significant time for you to focus on the connections or relationships in your life. And we'll see some more detailed messages with this tarot spread that I have. You can find all the details about this spread in the description below. With that, let's start with the very first card that we have, which is about how have your emotional states, how have they evolved in the previous couple of months, and what do you need to know about your emotional state of being at the moment. And the very first card that we have for you is the Father of Wands, which is the King of Wands in this tarot deck. And this card tells me that one aspect of your emotions that might have really taken charge in the previous few months could have been your desire or your passion to take actions towards your dreams. And I'm seeing that for a lot of you, this reading in this collective, I see a lot of energies of working towards your dreams. Maybe there is a lot of effort that you've put in, there's a lot of work that you have done towards attracting all your desired outcomes in your life. You have really worked towards what you want to bring into your life. And I see this collective as being someone who's really hardworking, who's really passionate about whatever dreams you're trying to manifest into your life. And I see someone who, if you set your mind towards something, you really want to bring that about in your life. But as it sometimes happens that our efforts, our passions, our desires are all aligned and we're working towards them, but sometimes the actual manifestation takes time to enter our lives. And a big confirmation for you is with this full moon in Cancer that this period or this month as a whole, in fact, is going to be a very prosperous time for you for this resolution to take place. So I'm just going to take an example of a work situation. For example, you've been trying to apply for something, you are waiting to either hear back from them, or you're waiting for a promotion, an acceptance letter, something of that sort. And from your end, you've really put in all the efforts that are necessary. You've made sure that you've done your best to bring this result into your life, but maybe just that actual, the final moment of the acceptance or the manifestation finally coming true is taking a little bit of time, and it's making you a bit worried. And for some of you, it might be bringing about emotions of doubt or uncertainty. And the same could apply for other efforts that you've been putting in, maybe about a relationship or a connection, and you're waiting to hear back from that person. But as I said, with the full moon in Cancer, there's definitely a resolution that is taking place for you. So I see the King of Wands as a very reassuring sign that anything that you're passionate about, anything that is a dream of yours, is not going to pass you by, is not going to escape from your life, from your destiny. It will manifest, it will enter your life. It just might take some time for it to, for your life to clear out those energies, so that you need to know what you have to let go of, so that you can welcome this new change into your life. With that, let's go to the second card, which is about where in your life are you ready to heal, or what area of your life needs healing at the moment. And we have another wands card coming in here, which is the Three of Wands. So one aspect that needs healing in the moment is there is this element of patience that is really required, because I feel that the energy that you are in right now, collective, I feel that there is, as I mentioned, there is a dream that you really want to fulfill, or something that you worked so hard towards and you're wanting to attract that into your life. But because of certain delays, it could have been either because of external factors, other people involved in the situation, or maybe just on your level there were certain blockages or some things that prevented you from bringing this manifestation into your life. And it is making you a little bit impatient, a little bit restless, and that waiting mode is something that is really, as we see with the full moon in Cancer, with that emotional sensitivity. So during this time you might be really prone to certain negative beliefs holding you back, and if there is some delay in these manifestations, you might be saying to yourself that, do I even deserve this? Am I even worthy of this blessing? And the answer for you is that yes, you're definitely deserving of all the blessings that you're trying to bring about in your life, especially when you have put in all the efforts to bring that into your life, whether that's a work situation, a relationship, a personal project that you're trying to manifest, or in any area of your life where you know deep down in your heart that you've put in all the efforts. So the results are guaranteed for you. It's just as I mentioned, and we'll also see in the future cards that what is that one thing, or what is that aspect that you need to release or let go of. And you would understand that once you let go of that, once you release that, that's when you don't have to be in this waiting mode any longer. And that is an area of your emotional state at the moment that needs attention, that how can you be a little bit more passionate, um, a bit more patient with yourself, a bit more compassionate, in the sense that not seeing a delay as a shortcoming for yourself. Like, just because there are external factors holding this blessing back does not mean that it speaks about your worth or whether you're deserving of it or not. So just be a little bit patient with yourself and also with the universe to bring about in your life all these blessings that you want to attract. And the next card that we have for you is, how can you open up your heart a little bit? How can you create the right kind of boundaries, healthy boundaries in your life? And the card that we have is the Ace of Swords. So this tells me that, first of all, I'm getting a sense that maybe there is some connection in your life that is really becoming stressful for you. It could be a family member, a friend, or for some of you, it could be in a romantic connection, or it could even be in a work situation, that there is someone who is really affecting your energies at the moment, and you're trying to negotiate for yourself that how do I set in this clear boundary. And with the Ace of Swords, I get a very clear message that there is communication that is needed. So you need to, first of all, identify for yourself what personal boundaries am I setting. And then you need to also identify that how can you communicate this boundary to the other person or the other people involved in this situation in a healthy manner. And so I can see two examples in this reading. First is about a relationship, or maybe right now you could be focused on a certain work project, or as I mentioned, there is a dream that you're working towards, and that could be taking a lot of your time and energy. And maybe that could have been affecting your partner at the moment, who feels that you're not able to give them enough time, or even with your family or friends, they feel that you're not giving them enough time, but deep down you know that there is a dream that you're working towards, something that needs more of your attention. So that's when you need to set a healthy boundary and let these significant people in your life know that it's not that you're ignoring them, it's just that there is more immediate concern, an immediate priority that needs more of your time, effort, and energy. And once you've dealt with that situation, you will definitely come back to these connections in your life, and that you truly value these people in your life. And it can also be the other way around, that there is an important connection or an important aspect of your life, of your personal life, that needs more of your attention, because of which you aren't able to perform as well, or you're not able to devote yourself as per your capacity towards a work situation. And that's where you need to assert a boundary and let the people know that you will get the work done. It's just that there is something else which needs more of your attention. So, as I mentioned with the Ace of Swords, the primary thing you need to focus on for these healthy boundaries is that aspect of communication. How can you let these people in your life know that there is certain need of yours, or there is a certain goal that you're working towards, which is taking more of your time, effort, and energy? And initially it might seem very difficult to communicate this, and it might seem like a big confrontation, and you might even be overthinking a lot that how do I communicate this need of mine? How do I assert this boundary? And again, for that, we have the full moon in Cancer as a reassuring sign for you that if this aspect of setting a boundary has been something that's worrying you a lot, in that sense, definitely there is a resolution that's happening. Once you communicate this aspect to the people involved in the situation, they will also be as understanding. They will be there to support you, to help you navigate through these challenges, and definitely you're finding all the answers. There is resolution coming for this conflict. The next card that we have is about what are the emotions that are no longer serving your highest good, or what aspect of your emotional state do you need to work on. And for that we have the star card, and the star is always about a renewal of faith or hope that enters our life after a difficult situation. And the star card being present here tells me that, as I mentioned earlier, there could have been something very specific in your life that you are working very hard towards. It could be something that is consuming your thoughts 24/7. Any waking moment that you have, you are engaged with that thought, or you're thinking about what the outcomes could be. And just because the situation has taken a little bit more time to manifest in your life, it could have made you lose faith on some level, or it might have made you feel hopeless that am I even going to be attracting this in my life? Will I even get that job offer or not? Will I even will that person say yes to me or not? Will this connection evolve to the level that I want it to? Will this personal project be successful or not? So if there are these questions that are coming up, and if you identify that you are beginning to feel this sense of hopelessness, or you are lacking that faith or conviction in your path, so that is an emotion that you need to address, that you need to release and let go of in this full moon period in Cancer. And the universe really wants you to know that any goal that you have, any wish that you want fulfilled, is this star moment. It is going to enter your life. And as I also said earlier, anything that is meant for you, anything that is for your highest good, it's not going to pass you by. It will not just escape your life. If it is meant to be in your path, if it is for your highest good, and if you have also put in the right efforts to bring it into your life, it's not going to pass you by. So just have that little bit of faith in your life. And with the star, the Aquarius season could also be significant. So the time frame of Aquarius could be significant time where this actual blessing enters your life. So look around for that. And the next card that we have is what aspect of yourself needs a bit more mothering or nurturing. So let's look at what that card is. And the card that we have for you is the Seven of Wands card. And this card tells me that one major feeling that, or one major emotional state that you could be in right now, is this aspect of feeling vulnerable, feeling challenged, feeling like being a little bit more defensive. Because as I mentioned, because we have all these fire signs here with the wands card, fire signs could be significant. But overall, as a whole, with this seven of wands, I see that again, because this certain thing that you want to bring in your life, because it has taken so long, and because you've had to wait for this situation for so long, there is this level of defensiveness that you might have entered. And you could be feeling really vulnerable at this point in time. You could be feeling as if you always have to have your guards up. And some of this aspect could be stemming in from inner child wounds, which have something to do with either fear of rejection, fear of being judged, that comes from certain past memories. So again, I'm taking this as an example. Only use this if it resonates with you. But I'm seeing this situation where for example, as a child, you were really looking for academic validation, or you were seeking that sense of validation from outside about your hard work, about your efforts, and that is something that sustained you. But maybe there could have been a moment in your past where there is something that you worked really hard towards, but that blessing it didn't come your way, or maybe you faced some kind of rejection, and that is a fear, that is a wound that has really stuck with you even now. And every time you are faced with another, maybe in a very different area of your life, but you're faced with a similar situation of being evaluated, of being judged, or there is someone else who is assessing you, and based on that, that defines the outcome that you'll get. And the example of the job offer, about applying for something and waiting to hear back, or even in terms of relationships, that you're trying to pursue someone, but a past experience of heartbreak or rejection is making you fear that, what if the same outcome happens in my life again. And that is an aspect of yourself that needs a little bit more nurturing at the moment, for you to process and accept that, okay, there might have been a past situation where things didn't go in the way that I wanted, or there was some difficulty that I faced, but that does not mean that even now or even in the future circumstances the same thing would happen. And a very useful technique to deal with this situation is to remind yourself that in between that past memory of rejection or hurt or disappointment and now, what are the new skills that you have gained? What are the new areas that you've worked on? And maybe also, what are the resources that you possess now that your past version did not? For example, if there is a past job or a past application that you were rejected for, so then look back at what have you learned in this entire experience. Maybe there could have been more skills that you have gained over this time period. There could have been a lot of other talents and abilities of yours that you have worked more on, that you have polished even more. And those are going to be the very things that make you stand apart and bring you closer to success. So, at any point, any past memory or past experience of difficulty holds you back, allow yourself to feel those feelings. And as I mentioned, the full moon in Cancer is going to be a time of a little bit of emotional sensitivity. So yes, feel those feelings, but also remind yourself of the resources that you possess in the present moment, and especially those resources which you might have lacked in the past. So that is an aspect of yourself which you need to nurture more. Maybe after this reading you could do a simple journaling exercise of writing down your own strengths, your own abilities, the resources that you possess at the moment, and everything that is going to help you reach this dream of yours, help you bring that manifestation into your life. And write down anything that you feel is going to make you feel a bit more empowered, a bit more reassured in your own self. And with that, let's go into the very final card that we have for you, which is about what do you need to release in order to trust your life. And as a very beautiful coincidence, we have the High Priestess card, which also represents the water sign, the Cancer sign. And this coming up in the full moon in Cancer reading is a very, very big sign that one thing that you need to let go of is this lack of conviction in your own self and in your own abilities. And what you need to pay more attention to is your own intuition, is your own spiritual powers, your abilities to manifest and attract the right situations in your life, to attract all your desired goals and all your desired outcomes. And the High Priestess is also a very significant sign of someone who is really tapped into their own inner wisdom and being very connected with your own higher self, knowing that which path is the right for you. And even now, if there is a goal that you're working towards, and there might be these um, ego defense mechanisms coming in or trying to hold you back from seeing the situation to its fullest, there might be some of these irrational beliefs that are holding you back. But if you look past all of these thoughts that are holding you back, that's when you'll find your own intuition and your own connection with your higher self, which tells you whichever path is the right for you. And that is one thing that you need to connect more with in this period of full moon in Cancer. And especially one very important practice to inculcate in this full moon period is going to be meditation. So, with this meditation, there are a lot of ways in which you could do that. It doesn't always have to be just sitting silently, focusing, meditating. You could look into certain guided meditation practices. You could look into meditations that are designed specifically for full moon or the full moon in Cancer, whatever works the best for you. But make sure you are giving yourself some moments of stillness and silence in the day, some moments of reflection to look back at your journey so far, and as I mentioned, as a helpful activity to look at the present moment right now, what are the strengths and resources that are still available to you, and things that are going to help you in this journey moving forward and help you feel empowered. And with this major arcana card coming here, there is definitely a lot of skills that you possess. The collective that is watching this reading, I can get this very strong energy that you are someone who definitely attracts your manifestations into your life. And it might happen that certain manifestations take a little bit more time, but that does not mean that they're not going to enter your life. It just means that this aspect of yours that needs a bit more healing, which is being a bit more patient, being in this energy where you are allowing things to unfold at their own time without getting too restless. And as I mentioned, one way of working through these feelings is meditation, giving yourself some time for stillness, and also reflecting back on the strengths and resources that you possess in the current present moment. With that, let's come to these um, card that we have for you. And the card that we have for you is Isis. So these are spiritual ascension cards, which are just some messages about how can you ascend, how can you experience that spiritual growth for yourself. So if you wish, you could just pause, take a screenshot if you wish to. But this overall card of Isis, it says that, again, it's so interesting that even the Isis card is talking about the high priestess of Atlantis, and the high priestess card coming here twice, it just tells me that this full moon in Cancer is going to be a very significant period for you to tap into your inner strength, your intuition, and your spiritual wisdom to help you guide yourself forward in this path. And this card also reminds you the power of the feminine, and this entire feminine energy that we see here is all about nurturing your goals, about being compassionate to yourself and also towards the path that you're on, also tapping into your emotions. That how can you have a balance of planning and being rational about your goals, but also having that emotional strength and conviction that you are deserving of the whatever outcome that you're trying to bring into your life. And the Isis card is also, it also says that face your challenges with equanimity and courage, knowing you are helped by angels. Keep your light bright and your energy pure no matter what, and this will enable you to influence many on their ascension path. Remember, there is a greater plan. And just the last line about there being a greater plan, it helps me connect with this energy of divine timing, and especially those moments where we feel that a certain thing is meant for us, but we keep questioning that why is that not happening in our lives yet. And that is all about divine timing, that there is something that first has to be released from your life so that you can welcome that blessing into your life. And a couple of things to release here is first this impatience or too much of an attachment with the outcome, which might be hurting your emotions, or this lack of hope or faith that you might be finding yourself in, or this bit of vulnerability that you might have entered because of this delay in your manifestations. And finally, the biggest strength to connect with is your inner wisdom, your spirituality, and all this wisdom that your soul possesses. And the final card that we have for you is the card of fun. Again, you can take a screenshot if you wish to. You could pause the screen and save this affirmation for later. But this card, the fun card here, says that um, this is a reminder for you to bring enjoyment, bring humor into your life. It's about that, yes, how can you have a balance of these intense, strong emotions, which are also very important in our lives, which we cannot completely repress or let go of, but also reminding ourselves that we can bring in a balance of humor and this balance of just lighter emotions, which help you see the lightness in any specific situation, and even in a difficult challenge. And especially, what I'm seeing here is connecting with those people in your life that help you enter this lighter energy no matter what difficulty that you're going through. And sometimes it happens a lot that whenever we are going through a significant challenge, we end up isolating ourselves, or we end up disconnecting from the important people in our lives. And that is something that could be addressed with just giving yourself, like, intentionally setting aside time of fun and enjoyment, of connecting with the loved ones, connecting with the significant people in your life. And how can you have this mutual existence of striving towards your goals, striving towards whatever it is that you want to work towards, but also having certain time apart, certain time that you intentionally give yourself in a day where you will interact with this social support system that is present in your life. And finally, I want to just bring in both of these cards together, especially with the affirmations that we have on here, which you could just take a moment to maybe say to yourself or write down in the comments below. With the ISIS card, the affirmation that we have is, I face my challenges with calm and strength. So remind yourself, and this aspect of strength is something which was a major focus in this reading, that what are your resources, what are the strengths that you possess which will help you on this journey in this full moon period. And with the fun card, the affirmation here says, I master my emotions. So, if you made it till the end of this reading, make sure to comment down below these affirmations. I face my challenges with calm and strength, and I master my emotions. So, I'm sending you all the best wishes and hope you have a wonderful time of releasing, of connecting with your strengths, of finding humor and enjoyment in this full moon period. And make sure to subscribe to my channel, as I'll be posting regular readings for all the full moons and new moons that we have in this year. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated, and I'll see you in my next reading.